the quarterback and the coach. Two icons of college football who've carved out their own unique niche in the history of the game. For 4 years, Florida quarterback Tim Tebow has proven larger than life, equal parts talent and determination, charisma and grit.
I promise you one thing, you will never see any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season.
The record speaks for itself. A Heisman Trophy, 2 national titles, and possibly more on the horizon. In over 4 decades, Florida State coach Bobby Bowden has eclipsed legendary status. The second most victorious coach of all time, he built the Seminole program virtually from scratch and did the seemingly impossible, making Florida State football relevant on a national scale. The quarterback and the coach, they arrive here at a crossroads in their careers. Tebow, the eternal shooting star, takes the field in the swamp as a Florida Gator for the final time. And Bowden, the great Seminole warrior, seeking one more shining moment in the sunset of his career.
How about this? This guy's unbelievable. You can't do this stuff. Oh my gosh! Now, fire up the ground for the win. He nailed it!
We welcome you to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium on the campus of the University of Florida. It is Senior Day, and a senior class that has won 46 and lost only 6. It's the Florida State Seminoles, 6-5 on rivalry weekend against the undefeated and top-ranked Gators of Florida. And next to be introduced, senior co-captain number 51, Brandon Spikes. And now let's throw it live to the public address announcer, Richard Johnston.
Our quarterback from Jacksonville, Florida, joined by his family, number 15, Tim Tebow.
Let's quickly go down to Tracy Wolfson with the head coach, Urban Meyer.
Thanks a lot, Vern. Urban, we see the emotion on your face. How hard is this moment for you to hear those seniors' names, especially ending with Tebow's?
Well, it's start to finish. You know, it's a group from Stamper to David Nelson to Spikes to Tebow. It's the best group of guys, and they deserve. We just got to play hard. You know, it's a lot of emotions.
How hard is it this week to balance the emotion, but also get ready for your biggest rival?
Well, it's a talented team. It'd be a lot easier if they didn't have all that talent. So we're just going to play hard. Our guys prepare well.
Thanks. Good luck today.
And a moment ago, those rivals from Tallahassee, the Seminoles of Florida State. Bobby Bowden, in his 34th year as the head coach in Tallahassee, reached his 80th birthday on November 9th. And good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Gary Danielson. 23 seniors in all, 24 including the late Michael Guilford. Inevitably, though, the focus, Gary, is on the quarterback.
Yeah, I was like watching a natural run out here. Well, I expect lightning to hit something here pretty soon. You know, my first game in the SEC was Tim Tebow's first SEC game against Tennessee, and he's brought it. For 4 years, he's brought it. He started out, remember, with power. That's how he led his team that first year to a national championship. He got better. He put precision in his game. It wasn't always pretty, but he was precise. But we'll always remember his passion. He brought it every week, every practice, every off-season practice. He will both be remembered for his leadership and passion to this program.
You know, inevitably this afternoon is the story of two different generations. You've got Tebow for Florida, and then 80-year-old Bobby Bowden for Florida State. So much controversy surrounding Bobby. He told us yesterday, for certain this will be his last trip to the Swamp.
That's too bad. There's nobody I admire more in this game than Bobby Bowden. That's the truth. I mean, he has done it all. But, you know, I don't know what's going to happen to this program, but I do think Florida State, whatever way they move, they've got to get it together. They must be on the same page. Today, the page turns to E.J. Manuel. Christian Ponder is injured. They're starting quarterback. They're going to a freshman quarterback. Very athletic, obviously not very experienced. He will have to have one of those games of a lifetime to beat this great Florida team.
All right, Gary, 90,000 plus on hand this game. And all SEC college football games are brought to you in crystal clear CBS high definition. Perfect late November afternoon, post-Thanksgiving, 65 degrees. Winds out of the north at 5 in the forecast, partly cloudy. Teams first met in 1958, so it's not that ancient a series. Florida has won the last 5. And Florida outscored the last 2 in Gainesville and in Tallahassee, 90-27. Florida State won the toss. They have deferred the option to the second half. There's Manuel, 5-star recruit out of Virginia. And Tim Tebow getting to make his final start in the Swamp. Dustin Hopkins will kick off, and he has a tremendous leg. Out of 63 kickoffs this year, 23 have been touchbacks. Brandon James and Riley Cooper drift back for the undefeated and top-ranked Gators of Florida as they are in quest of their 22nd consecutive victory. James drifts back. He'll run it out. Slight bobble. And the Gators will take over at their own 26-yard line. The tackle made by backup safety Nick Moody, number 10. Well, Tim Tebow, Gary mentioned, we saw his first SEC game here. Look at this, 135 touchdowns, 54 rushing touchdowns, 2,743 rushing yards, and the highest passer rating in SEC history.
And as great as his stats are, they don't do him justice. He's so much more than stats.
1st and 10 out of the spread. Handoff right side. This is Jeff Demps, number 2. Nice start for the Gators. With a gain all the way to the 45-yard line, the tackle made by Jamie Robinson. Now the offense, presented by Chick-fil-A. Up front, Xavier Nixon, first true freshman to start at left tackle since Robbie Green in 1972. Johnson and the Pouncey twins and Marcus Gilbert. You've got Cooper and Nelson, the wideouts. Deontay Thompson also there. Demps in the backfield, and Aaron Hernandez is the tight end. 1st down and 10. Dive play, Demps spins and brought down for a loss. Tackle made by Dakota Watson, number 36. Defensively, and this has been a real leaky boat for the Seminoles this year. McNeil, Dawkins, McCray, and White. The linebackers are Watson, Smith, and Bradham. And the secondary for Florida State, Jenajay, Mangum, Robinson, and Robinson. That's Jamie and Patrick. Mickey Andrews, who has announced his retirement, at the end of his 26th season. He'll retire on February 10th. Second down, 11. Tebow, right side, caught. It's Cooper. And that'll bring up third down. Now, new uniforms for the Florida Gators today. One of 10 teams sponsored by a certain well-known company. And these are high-tech uniforms.
Well, it's a high-tech offense, and it's Mickey Andrews' old-school defense. Let's see how they can hold up here. They went zone last time, made the play happen in front of them on second down.
Hernandez moves to the left, third down, 8.
This time it's man-to-man. There's going to be a robber in the middle of the field, right in the middle of the field.
Blitz. Tebow finds Brandon James. He's got the first down as he's tackled at the 41. James and Jenajay, number 15, makes the stop.
Well, he's matched up on a corner. Brandon James is. Jenajay is the corner right there in man-to-man coverage. That's too much of a cushion. That's a running back, basically. Not a skilled wide receiver. That's just too much of a cushion. And Florida, who worked on their passing game a lot last week against FIU, see if it pays off for them.
Steve Adazio, the offensive coordinator, said, we're going to put it in Tebow's hands today. And here are his hands and his legs as he runs to the left and is tackled by Corey Mangum, number 22. Modest gain of 1.5 yards.
Well, one of the things you must do if you're going to have any chance of stopping a spread team is tackle in space. Now, you can't take Tebow on up top. You got to go for the legs and then wrap them. And that time Mangum did exactly the way he was taught.
Well, Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, telling us yesterday he's the best leader I've ever seen, talking about Tebow. But then the problem is you've got to account for him on every play, and then you've got to tackle him, bring him down.
The hardest part might be the tackle.
Yeah. Second down. 3-man rush. Tebow dances to his left, pulls up, goes deep. Possibility here. Tipped and incomplete. Intended for Chris Rainey. Covered by Patrick Robinson. Rainey with only 5 catches for the season.
Well, Florida State started off in a 4-man line here. They stunt around. They rush 4. Look at the nice protection by the offensive line. Dakota Watson comes in late. But you can see the great coverage that time by that FSU defensive secondary, because the 2 linebackers coming means they were in man-to-man coverage.
3rd and 8, third down of this opening possession. They converted the previous one of 8 yards. From the 40, blitz again. Tebow has time, drills it across the middle. Too high for Riley Cooper.
Yeah, that's the tallest receiver on the field, and this one sailed on Tebow. Not a very good throw. He had a matchup he wanted and could have been completed.
That will bring on Chaz Henry. Henry has only punted 28 times this year. And this will be an interesting matchup, not so much on this possession because Reed is back at the 10-yard line. Oh, it's not Reed. It's Venturi Watkins. Greg Reed is the leading punt returner in the country.
Yeah,
but
this is a pooch situation.
Right. How about that?
And executed perfectly also. Wande Pierre-Louis doing a nice job. I think that's who it was down on the play.
One of the seniors. Tim Tebow on the Gator Walk. It took him just a little while to get into the stadium. There's his father, Bob. LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, invites you to celebrate game day moments in the SEC. Life's good if you're a Gator fan, and there are a few thousand here in the swamp. Florida State quarterback making his 3rd start, E.J. Manuel, the freshman out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Prior to his first start at Wake Forest, he had taken a total of 14 snaps. And he gets the start from the 2-yard line. The handoff, flag is down. As Thomas gets the handoff and maybe 2 feet. Brandon Hicks is starting in place of A.J. Jones today. Here's Matt Austin, our referee.
Prior to the snap, false start, 77 offense, half the distance to the goal, still first down.
That's right tackle Zebri Sanders.
I think it was Hicks who caused it by coming into the neutral zone right there. He didn't quite get there, but that's what caused the flinch, and there's still a rivalry.
That was the cornerback Janoris Jenkins. Out of the spread, roll right for Manuel, puts it up too high. Intended for Burt Reed. Well, you've met Manuel, the redshirt freshman. Let's introduce you to the rest of the Florida State University offense, and this is a good one. Only one senior and one junior in the starting lineup. Datko, Davis, McMahon. Their best lineman, Rodney Hudson, unable to go today at left guard. Spurlock and Sanders. It's Fortson, Thomas, Pryor, Relaford the tight end, and Rod Owens, the only senior for Florida State at a wideout. Second down, 11. High formation. Second man through for a yard and a half. Third, probably 8 when they spot the ball. Florida defense, number 1 in the country in points allowed, less than 10. Dunlap, Tratto, and Cunningham. Up front, Hicks for A.J. Jones, but he's a previous starter. Spikes, the senior, and Ryan Stamper, also a senior. It's Jenkins, Black, Will Hill, Major Wright, and Joe Hayden, the All-American, and Brandon Spikes is as well. 3rd and 9. Manuel in trouble. Comes left. Joe Hayden one-on-one makes the tackle. 4th down.
That was a very positive play by Manuel that time. You know, you're a freshman in the swamp going against one of the best defenses in the country. You do not want to make a mistake down here. He read it properly and got his offense off the goal line for an opportunity to punt the ball. Very heady play by the quarterback.
Sean Powell is on to punt. Brandon James, one of the best in the business, at his own 43, and there's a flag down prior to the snap. There's James. 4 punt returns for touchdowns in his career, none this season.
Prior to the snap, false start, 12 offense, half the distance to the goal, still 4th down.
Nigel Carr, who's a backup linebacker. And just to note, this is an SEC officiating crew this afternoon. How about this? Last week, for the first time since Bobby Bowden's second game in 1976, but already a couple here. James dances, scissored down, but he's in Florida State territory at the 48-yard line. That's a 46-yard punt and 2 on the return. Brandon Jenkins makes the stop.
Well, it's real interesting to see what this thing's going to do from here. Inside field position, they like, Florida does, to go deep, almost like a turnover right here when we come back.
Tim Tebow had an emotional stroll through Gator Walk about a half an hour ago, and he talked with Tracy Wilson.
All right, Tim, 4 years you've made that walk. How emotional was it this final time?
It was really emotional. It was hard to, really when I saw my parents and all my family and friends around there, it was hard to say cool, but you know, they're so supportive and it's just so upbeat and they're so thankful, and it just really means a lot because I got so many people that are here supporting me, and I'm very thankful and truly blessed.
When you look around, did you ever think you'd have the impact you did on this school and on college football?
Well, that's truly been a blessing, the impact that you know, these people show that I had on them and on their lives, and just making them smile and just being here with them and supporting them. And I think we had an impact on each other because I know they had an impact on me.
Tim is the youngest of 5 children of Bob and Pam Tebow. 3 of his siblings are here. There's the family gathered. His sister Christy and her husband, missionaries in Bangladesh, watching early in the morning over there. Tim said he hoped they could get back for the SEC game next week, probably get back for the bowl game. First down and 10. He'll run it, and not very far. Kendall Smith, number 29.
Well, one thing you admire about Mickey Andrews' defense, they may be giving up yards throughout the whole year, but he's just as aggressive now as he was 10 years ago when he had all those studs. He plays the same defense. He basically says, if you can't cover people on the outside, you have no chance to stop the run inside. That's what he believes. He just says, we have to recruit a little better and grow up a little bit inside.
3 wides now, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. On second down and 8. Up the middle, quick hitter. And that's going to be close for a first down as Jeff Demps makes the stop. Mickey Andrews, 68 years of age. He played for a pretty good coach at Alabama, Bear Bryant, and learned a lot there. And he and Bobby Bowden obviously go back a long way, Gary.
Yeah, and you know, he really changed the game. You know, he might be the guy that's responsible for the spread coming into football. He was so dominant with his speed defenses, he forced a shift in college football to kind of get away from the type of defense he played.
Well, they honored him last week in the last home game. Upon his retirement, here's Osceola, and he hands the spear to Mickey Andrews. Watch this. Terrific. He was presented with a pickup truck by his former players, and then they rallied, did FSU, to win the game by 3 and carried off on the shoulders of his defensive players. Saw the measurement, 3rd and short.
And I would assume that this is going to be 2 tries for a first down here. So you could see some gimmick deep pass, maybe a play action deep ball.
That's Hernandez in motion. Pulls up and stops. Option play. Pitch to Demps. Got the first down. And that gives us a moment to go back to the studio for this John Hancock update. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern and Gary, it's been a tough year for Oklahoma, but you cannot lose to Oklahoma State at home, can you? Well, here's Ryan Broyles, an 87-yard punt return to make it 27-0. Amid speculation of Stoops to Notre Dame, this is a huge win, and BCS Fiesta chances are done for Oklahoma State, perhaps clearing the way for fly in the ointment Boise. Vern, back to you.
On the blue carpet last night. It's an acquired taste, that blue carpet, in the best of times, but in a rainstorm, it's not pretty.
I tell you, those guys up front for Florida State right now are defeating that Florida offensive line. Bud Thacker right there, number 72. When you can have 4 guys, and let's face it, that was the Florida State defense in its heyday. They just won battles up front and made it easier for everybody else in the back end. What did Mickey tell us yesterday? One season when he won the national championship, he barely blitzed.
Right.
He said we didn't have to.
Well, he said he had 2 defensive ends that ran 4.5 in the 40.
Right.
Oi. Second down. Play action. Tebow looks for Cooper. Drills it. Riley Cooper got a stride in the crossing pattern. In front of Patrick Robinson. Big gain of 20 yards.
It looks like Patrick Robinson is trying to take away, the best cover guy for Florida State is trying to take away Riley Cooper. This is the second time we've had this matchup. Cooper does a nice job of coming inside early, stemming back, and beating Robinson on an easy pitch and catch.
That is a first down inside the 20, first foray inside the 20 for the Gators on their second possession. Here's the inside pitch. Hernandez, touchdown. Aaron Hernandez, the junior out of Bristol, Connecticut. His high school coach, Mike Bekesa, was a huge Florida fan and sent tapes of Hernandez down south to Gainesville. He was recruited by Steve Adazio, who played his collegiate football at Central Connecticut State.
Well, if you can't stop this play, you haven't been watching Florida play. This is the inside shovel pass to Hernandez. It's run 4 or 5 times a game. He may line up at fullback, he might line up at tight end, he may line up in the slot, but Florida will run the shovel pass inside, and that was an easy touchdown, keyed by that 3rd down pass to Cooper.
Now it's time for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Action Cam.
Pouncey's going to come around here to block, but watch Florida State. 1, 2, 3 players overrun the play. Too aggressive, too much speed. They all overrun it. Pouncey really doesn't have to block anyone on the play, and they gash it up inside. A staple for Florida. Florida State overruns it.
So the Gators first on the board, 7-0. 74 yards in all against a Florida State defense that, as we said, has been gouged throughout the season. 3 times Florida State has given up in excess of 500 yards, 4 times 400 yards plus. That's been the weakness of this Florida State team. And so Caleb Sturgis will kick off. Greg Reed is the deep man, number 5, true freshman. He'll take it at the goal line. Got a lane. Nice return. All the way out near the 35-yard line. Tomorrow, the NFL on CBS rolls on with regional coverage. Indianapolis, Houston, Cleveland, Cincinnati, or Miami, Buffalo. The late games, Kansas City and Jacksonville, San Francisco. It all begins with JB and the quartet. The NFL today, tomorrow. I don't know. Bill Cowher.
I never thought I'd see Bill Cowher and the Victoria's Secret bottles in the same screen.
First down and 10.
Gonna have to tune in on that one.
Yeah. Pass is complete to Rod Owens, number 86, and Ryan Stamper makes the tackle. That's a gain of 7.
I know this is not the way Florida State wanted to start a game, obviously. Really, this is their first drive of the game.
Right.
They were backed up. You're almost 9 minutes into this football game, and Florida State has run their 4th play of the game. This is really their first look at what their offense, what they're going to try to do to the Florida defense.
And before they run the play, timeout is taken by Manuel. So Bobby Bowden, 80 years of age, in his 34th season, his team down by 7. Well, let's take a look at our Home Depot tools to victory. In this case, 388 of them.
Well, a guy who built a program from scratch, and he came from West Virginia. And you know, what stood out for me is the way he did it, took on the big guys. He would go anywhere to play anyone. He recruited players that said, listen, we'll go on the road, we'll play whoever you got. And he's got a resume unlike almost any other. He and Joe Pa, right?
Absolutely. He told us yesterday the biggest victory he thought in his career at FSU was in 1980. He went into Lincoln and took on Nebraska and beat them. By the way, Steve Spurrier, when he was the coach here, had a 68-5 record in the Swamp. 3 of the 5 defeats came to Bobby Bowden.
Yeah, pretty good teams.
Second down and 3. Whoops. Remember that note about no penalties last week? First time in 33 years.
This one. Right.
Think it's going the other way?
The center popped his head up on the play, McMahon, and then there was a reaction to it by Lawrence Marsh. I think it'll go against Florida this time.
Dead ball, offside, 90 of the defense. player in the neutral zone making contact with the center. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
The center is allowed to put his head up like that, and Marsh overreacted to it. Now, when we talked to Jimbo Fisher, I go, Jimbo, how are you going to win this game? Come on. You got a freshman quarterback, and he goes, I got to slow it down. Sounded, like Kiffin. Everybody who's played against Florida, they want to run clock.
Right. 1st and 10, FSU, they trail by 7. And there's a handoff to Thomas, and he's tackled by Cunningham. Another flag is down over on the far side. Jermaine Thomas did not start this year as the starter. That was Ty Jones, but came on late season.
Offside, 8 defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, that means Carlos Dunlap, number 8, the defensive end, lined up offsides, because that was thrown exactly when that play was snapped. And of course, Florida State will take it and get 1st and 5.
Now here's Thomas. Late season had a 3-game stretch against NC State, Clemson, and at Wake Forest, well in excess of 100 yards in each of those 3. In the first 5 games, he totaled only 77 yards.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a bum knee, but he's healthy now. You watch him on tape, very aggressive. Not a home run guy, but a good 8-yard guy.
Play fake, Manuel lobs it out, it's caught. And Ryan Stamper has to hurry over to make the stop on Burt Reed, number 83. Joe Hayden with the pressure on the play.
Well, if I was going to show a play that kind of typifies 2009 offenses, I would show this sneak play. It's a boot sneak where a wide receiver, a tight end, or a fullback will line up to the side of the fake and then sneak out the other way. Coming across, good misdirection play, a safe pass for your quarterback.
Florida State in Gator country for the first time. They trail by 7. Here's Manuel. He's going to have to head to his right, tucks it. Brandon Hicks forces him out of bounds. Let's go to Tim Brando for this Heisman Watch presented by Nissan.
Vern, right on cue, I wanted to show you that lovely blue field where Kellen Moore tied his career high with 5 touchdown passes. Dan Paul on the receiving end here. Boise State moves to 12-0, and as we said, probably in a BCS Bowl now. He's the most efficient quarterback in the country, 38 touchdown passes tonight. Stanford running back and Pac-10 rushing leader Toby Gerhart gets his opportunity against Notre Dame.
All right, Tim, thank you. 2nd down, 11. Reverse. Right side is Reed, and Joe Hayden stayed home on that one and made the tackle, number 5. He's going to be an All-American this year, I think, without question.
Well, Joe Hayden, Charlie Strong, the defensive coordinator, told us did not have a good first half a couple weeks ago when we did the game with Florida, and he really read him the riot act against South Carolina. He said it was so unlike Joe to have missed assignments, because when he zeroes in, he's about as good as there is as a corner.
3rd and 8.
Carlos Dunlap has been really wreaking havoc early in this game.
He takes the inside route this time, and he gets there. He had some help from Will Hill. It was Hill, number 10, Dunlap, number 8, sack of Manuel.
Yeah, he has really, I've watched him 3 times, and he has almost made the play 3 times. End of the line of scrimmage, a nice stunt with spikes, and mishandled inside by the Florida State offensive line. But it really didn't matter so far. What I was watching, even if they didn't miss the assignment, he's been blowing by his guy.
That brings up 4th and 14. Sean Powell with the punt, nice and high. Brandon James will grab it and take it for 3 feet, maybe. Ricardo Wright made the stop. You can beat the crowds and get your favorite NCAA gear when you shop online at the CBS Sports Store. You'll save big on all officially licensed jerseys, caps, and more. Just go to cbssportsstore.com right now.
Well, remember last time the Florida State defense was out there, they were almost trying too hard. I mean, they were over pursuing. They're aggressive, but against the spread, the way they can counteract you, you must play assignment football.
Well, you see he passed Ty Detmer on that little shovel pass to Hernandez. Now first down, farthest away that Florida has begun the game. And here goes Jeff Demps. Caught from behind. That doesn't happen very often, but a huge, it's Rainey, not Demps, beg your pardon.
Just a simple play again. The tilted in defensive end kind of runs himself right out of the play that time, did Kevin McNeil. I was kind of wondering, with those defensive ends for Florida State, the way they're tilted in, if they needed to straighten up a little bit more to take that zone read play to the outside. Because that time, Rainey was outside of him in 2 steps.
45-yard gain. Now Demps is on the field, and he gets the pass. Nice block, Jeff Demps. I'm smiling at my mistake because Mickey Andrews said yesterday he was referring to the Florida running backs as those little bitty guys.
Little guys, those 2 bitty guys. Well, this time the Florida State defense did not line up properly. 2 wide receivers, and inside, right there, the linebacker needs to come out. He did it too late, and that caused it. Bradham did it a little bit late, and it cost him a big play.
Well, here's Rainey, wide right, first down. Tebow drills it. He fired that baby, and Deontay Thompson makes the catch.
Well, serve notice to Alabama, and should they win that game, I guess Texas or whomever, Tebow's concussion was a while ago, and Florida has decided to reinstitute the empty passing game. You're going to see more and more of it. Tebow likes it, and you're going to see more of him in the empty.
Rainey's in the backfield now as they rotate. Emmanuel Moody, by the way, will not play today. Injury. Here's Rainey. Dances right. And he makes it inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's another Gator first down.
I think Florida all year, Steve Adazio and of course Urban Meyer with his orders, has been trying to protect Tebow. At FIU game, gave the staff an opportunity to go almost run a passing scrimmage, and they've come out with more passing. This is early what they'd like to see their offense look like all year.
Dive play. Rainey, Chris Rainey. He's the redshirt sophomore out of Lakeland, Florida. Remember earlier this year, Urban Meyer said Riley Cooper is the best blocking wide receiver he'd ever coached.
Let's watch and see. He's aggressive. Robinson throws him away that time, but at least he went after it. We keep asking Urban as they go empty again.
Yep.
This is 5-man protections.
This is Demps in motion. Blitz coming from Florida State. Demps got his man. He dived and got the blitzing linebacker, and that's a moderate gain to the 15-yard line. Corey Mangum, number 22.
He did, and I think Tebow misread this one because he should have gone to the other side of the field, and he had a couple guys he could have at least thrown to. Demps inside, taking on Dakota Watson. That's the little Demps taking on a linebacker because he went low, and then Corey Magnum coming in to clean it up. But you can see the other side of the field, they had no coverage on Riley Cooper. That was a mistake by Tebow.
3rd and 8. Demps goes in motion, wide left. 4-man rush. Tebow, pressure from behind. He's sacked. Down at the 20. It'll bring on the field goal unit. Mr. Alexander. That's his first name, Mr. That's also the end of the quarter.
Comes in one side, decent coverage to the outside, but by the time Tebow was ready to throw, Mr. Alexander was making the sack.
End of one with the score 7-0. We'll return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. after this message and a word from your local station. It's a day full of memories for Tim Tebow. We asked him his favorite play. Go back to his freshman year. The jump pass to take Casey in the end zone against LSU. I thought they should have been wearing throwback jerseys because that was a play out of 1952. And Tebow subsequently has thrown it 3 more times and has completed all 4 for touchdowns.
Including one in the national championship against Oklahoma.
Caleb Sturgis, 18 of 25, but he's missed 4 out of his last 5. Now, 3 of those have been in excess of 50 yards. This one 37 yards away. Got it. And it increases Florida's lead to 10, 14-55. All Gators thus far. Now I look forward to this promo once a year. It's the Victoria's Secret Fashion Show from New York City with a special musical guest, the Black Eyed Peas. The Victoria's Secret Fashion Show, Tuesday, only on CBS.
Is there only one Black Eyed Pea group? I mean, I see them everything. They're on everything all the time. They're only one of us?
I don't know.
They're good.
Yes, they are. We'll investigate. 10-0. How about this? Well, they've scheduled now, come on, Charleston Southern and FIU. They won both those games 62-3. Patrick Robinson, they also hammered Troy, their third one. And this return is out near the 30-yard line as we welcome you back to the swamp. And I don't guess we're surprised, Gary, at the domination so far by Florida.
No, remember we asked Mickey Andrews, I said, if I could give you one thing to stop this Florida offense, what would you take? He said, a good quarterback on my team.
Right, that is.
You've got to be able to score against this Florida team. You just can't stand there and play defense the whole day. They're too good. And I think that's the truth. They need drives. They need first downs.
This is the handoff to Lonnie Pryor, number 24. It was his little run with less than 45 seconds to go last week that gave them the win over Maryland. And
well, he's another one of those young, outstanding freshman players that Jimbo Fisher said is going to be a great one. He is very, very good at receiving the football.
2nd down 5. Dive play again. It's Pryor for the second time, number 24, and he's gotten FSU with a first down. Well, we should mention right away, I'm sorry we've waited this long, Christian Ponder, who was having an all-ACC year when he was injured 3 games ago.
I was watching a televised game of Florida State earlier in the year, and one of the guys in the open said, as Christian Ponder goes, so goes FSU. He was having a great season. Hopefully he'll be back next year. He's an elite talent.
First down and 10. Gone for the year is Christian Ponder. Inside game, there's a flag thrown by the umpire. You all know what that usually means. Relaford was the man who caught it.
Shot block.
Oh,
79 offense. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat first down.
Right guard David Spurlock came down and did the chop block. It was a quick pass, and your linemen are trying to chop on the play, but you can't post a player up right on the nose tackle. Watch it right there. Set up by the center and taken on by the right guard.
Now that's pretty obvious, isn't it? Yep.
You know, when you talk to Florida State, and especially Jimbo, and the strategy of the game, he said, we'd like to just slow it down, run the ball. I said, yeah, but Florida's going to have to help you turning it over like they did in those football games.
On first down. Under center, manual quarterback draw. Takes off. He is elusive.
Wonderful play.
Yes, indeed. He got a bunch back. It's going to be a need of about 11 when they spot it.
Well, you can see the type of football player he can be and will grow into being. Probably going to be another year if Ponder comes back and is healthy, but he has a bright future, very athletic, just has to be ready to play at this level.
Second down, 11. Manuel very elusive in the backfield. They use a lot of bootlegs. You see he's over 111 now in his third start. Right tackle. This is Thomas. Tackle made by Black and Doe, and we go back to New York. Here's Tim Brendo.
All right, Vernon Gary. Well, TCU rolled, had 2 pick sixes. This one from Rafael Priest off the arm of Donovan Porteria of New Mexico, returned 47 yards. Now, the Horned Frogs wind up 12-0. Could be Fiesta Bowl bound, or if Texas loses to Nebraska, well, let's just say there's one group from Texas that will be rooting for the Huskers in the Big 12 title game, Vern.
1938, you know who was the quarterback then? Davy O'Brien. And, of course, the Davy O'Brien Award coming up, the outstanding quarterback. Tebow, one of the finalists, along with Colt McCoy and Case Keenum. Tipped, incomplete, 4th down.
Decent protection that time, and Ahmad Black, the safety, was in decent coverage, but you'll see all these Florida players, when the ball is in the air, as you look at the protection, good job, time to throw, ball in the air, aggressive. These guys have played a lot. They know what they're doing, and they go for it when the ball's in the air.
Sean Powell, his third punt. This is a dandy. Chases Brandon James back. He'll let it go. It bounds into the end zone. Touchback. And the Gators will start from their own 20-yard line.
Brandon James just took on and laid out an FSU player. I'm not sure who it was. It might have been Mr. Alexander.
It was. There's so many lines right there.
I know.
I'm going to leave them all alone. Except to point out that Brandon James made a heck of a block.
Urged everyone to wear eye black today, with or without the inscribed Bible verses in honor of Tim Tebow's final game. Even the band wore number 15, and look at me. I'm even paying tribute to Tim Tebow today.
Mazel tov, Trace.
SEC on CBS. Mazel tov.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Scandinavian, but I'm eclectic. 1st down and 10. Demps, right side, has a block from David Nelson. And that allows him to scoot around the corner and pick up a 1st down before Ochuko Genege makes the tackle, a gain of 11.
I tell you, I've been doing Florida State football for 15 years. You just don't see people run sweeps in the past against the speedy Florida State defenses. Well, I haven't seen them in a while, I have to admit that, but it is sometimes shocking to watch the ease at which Florida is getting outside of this defense.
Well, a few bad recruiting years, wouldn't you say, for Florida State? Mickey Andrews said we finished second on a lot of guys we needed.
Look at that. I mean, before he's getting tackled on just a flat-out sweep, he's getting 5 or 6 yards. Dakota Watson at the end of the play gets him on the front of the jersey. Man, that was close. Close to a horse collar there.
Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Deontay Thompson, Nelson, and Cooper, all 3 go wide to the right. And Demps comes near side. Here's the empty backfield again.
It is.
Florida State with 4 down, Demps in motion. Tebow, play fake. He'll take off and run it. Stiff arm to the 40. It's going to be 3rd and 1.5. Well, the itty-bitty guys, Mickey Andrews called them, the diminutive running backs for the University of Florida. Here's Jeff Demps.
Well, there were so many questions about this spread, and then there were questions about whether these little guys could hold up in the SEC running the spread and the dives they do. Spread's working, and the little guys are working.
3rd and 2. Demps, wide left this time.
Look at this empty backfield. 3rd and 2. Will Tebow go? Yes.
Comes left. Close.
I thought he was over the line.
Yeah,
excuse me, over the line on television, our first down line. You almost could call a quarterback draw here on this one. Empty. Needs about, what do we call it, 2 yards? Is that what we said?
Yeah.
Tebow patient, and then puts his shoulder down. He got spun around on the play, didn't he?
So the spot, this will be close.
Yeah, that's where he made his name for himself. And we've said it over and over again. That's where you almost have a automatic first down when you get inside 3 yards, 2 yards because of Tebow. With the yellow line, he was clearly across.
Well, Gary, one of the, and we're going to do this throughout, and pay tribute to his career.
Sure.
But we showed you the jump pass. I think one of the defining moments in his career here also came as a freshman on 4th down up in Tennessee. And we saw the power from him on that 4th down conversion. Unbelievable.
Well, he turned a finesse program into a power program. But, you know, got a lot of good football players around him now. You know, there's probably 8 players on defense who are going to play in the NFL.
Some of whom might come out early as juniors. Here's the dive. Rainey right between the Pouncey twins. Whoa, we had a fist thrown. And nobody caught it at the end of the play.
Was it Justin Mincy, number 94, or was it?
I think it was. And one of the Pouncey twins.
Right middle of your screen. Gets up. And a shove. Pouncey, the veteran.
Yep.
You know, to me, it's a good no call.
Yeah.
A good no call. If he could go into the face, I'd have called it.
Looked like Noshawn Marino and Brandon Marshall.
Yes, it did.
Here's Tebow. Flag down. Pre-snap penalty. Well, 4th and 1, Tennessee. Tebow, the freshman. Just a surge of power as he goes over left guard. And they hung on to win that game.
You know, on that play, no one covered Aaron Hernandez. And I'm sure Steve Adazio and Scott Loeffler will notice that and dial that up in the future.
There's Adazio. Replaced Dan Mullen. He's been the offensive line coach of Florida for quite some time. He served with Urban Meyer as assistants at Notre Dame in the early to mid 90s. Rainey. Tebow flips it out to Rainey. He's on an island out there, 1-on-2, and 3 catches up with it. So that'll bring up another 3rd down. Dakota Watson, who's been quite busy defensively, number 36.
Yeah, see, this is what the empty backfield can do for you if you're willing to do it, is get Rainey and Demps on that island. Now, you know, that's Survivor's Island with a guy who knows how to survive, because he's not easy to bring down in space. 3rd and short again.
Make it 3 and send Cooper top right. 2 receivers to the left side.
Too far to run this time. He obviously has a check with me, and he's coming to something here.
FSU showing a blitz look. And a flag down, play clock. Yeah, flag on the near side. Maybe a false start.
Before the snap, false start. 57 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, Carl Johnson flinched. Left side of the line, left guard. One of the moves, as Vern told you, moving Carl Johnson down to guard to bring in Xavier Nixon. Made them more physical inside, much more like their 08 team with those 3 guys inside. Johnson, Pouncey, and Pouncey.
Right. And then Nixon, the freshman, starting at left tackle, and Gilbert at right tackle. Here's Tebow. Fires it out to Brandon James. Breaks a tackle. Fumble out of bounds. And they will rule the ball down. I think he's got enough for the 1st down.
You know, this was perfectly defended by FSU. They dropped in a zone. They forced Tebow to throw the ball short. They did everything right until the last thing. Tackle somebody. Runs right through Greg Reed's arms. Runs right through Jenna Chade's arms, and that's what forced that first down. Two defenders, yes.
Yeah, look at that.
That was Nixon, wasn't it?
Yes. First down and 10. Tebow off to a good start. He's 7 of 9, and this time the referee whistles the play dead before the snap.
They're going to reset the clock this time. Yeah.
The play clock should have been reset to 25 seconds due to the delay in getting the ball spotted on the field. Please set the game clock to 25 seconds.
Now this series, as we said, it began in 1958. Florida would not play FSU for the longest time. A governor got involved and negotiated the series. See that Florida won 16 out of the first 19. Florida State then went 4-0. It's been Florida's game the last 5 times. Up the middle left side on first down. That's Tebow. Jacoby McDaniel, number 99, makes the stop.
The Reed play, and this time Tebow keeps it. You see that picture of the high five between the official and Vince Young?
I did see that.
We just saw the referee help Tebow up on that one right there. That'll be all over the internet too.
Second down, 6.
Like everything else there is.
Oh my gosh. 8 out of 10 for Tebow.
Soft coverage again.
He's got it. Good tackle this time, and Tebow. Dakota Watson has been really active defensively. Number 36, that's another tackle.
Well, it's man coverage, but soft coverage. You know, where they're about 7 yards and they're dropping. That seems a little bit too much space to me for Florida State to give those easy pitches and catches, and I'm surprised on second down Florida isn't getting that ball out to those guys.
Florida's 4 out of 6 on third down conversions. They look at a 3rd and 5 here. Blitz, Tebow. He's got Hernandez for the first down at the 26-yard line.
How good is this guy? Aaron Hernandez is a tight end, matched up against Patrick Robinson, who's considered the best man-to-man coverage guy for Florida State. Look at that sharp route and great pass. I mean, you got 3 receivers to the field and you got a tight end beating a corner to the short side.
Hernandez, 3rd most among NCAA tight ends. Demps hiding behind Tebow, now hits to the right. Tebow pulls it out, tries to go right, circles back to the left, gets a block from Hernandez, out of bounds at the 20. Jamie Robinson with a tackle.
Well, here's one you probably didn't see if you were watching nationally. There was a game going on as we look at this play right here against Florida just now, the fake inside. Remember that touchdown 2 years ago against Florida State when he took the ball up the middle, right up the gut for a touchdown.
Second down and 3. This is the 12th play of the drive. Oh, you and I saw it.
Yes, not a lot of people.
No, the other game is going on. A little delayed. Tebow! Tebow, touchdown, Florida. Run. Sturgis for the extra point with 3:59 to go before halftime.
It was the same play he hit Aaron Hernandez on for the shovel pass. Same play. Watch it coming from behind. Here comes coming to the side. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. 3 options on it. This time, no pitch, and the quarterback takes it all the way. What does Tebow see? He's run it 100 times. Nobody takes me. I'm taking it to the end zone.
Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports provided by DirecTV. Good to have them with us all season long, providing the views from up on high. Tebow, 18-yard run. That caps a 12-play, 80-yard drive, and it took 7:44.
It also took 3 third-down conversions, as we look at that. But they got 3rd and 2, a run, 3rd and 8, the missed tackle, and then 3rd and 5, the pass to Hernandez. 3 third-down conversions.
And another footnote after the play on Tebow. Here's the boot. Patrick Robinson, 4 yards, he'll take a knee. With that touchdown, Tim Tebow has now surpassed Herschel Walker's total of rushing touchdowns, including his appearance in bowl games. He had 4 that don't count officially. So Tim Tebow, with another rushing touchdown, now claims the record without question on his own.
Well, if Florida State's going to keep this a football game, they're going to have to take the pressure off their defense. I don't know if they can, but this is the drive they must.
Total yards so far for FSU, 47. Total for Florida, 241. Here's Manuel. Right guard. It's Lonnie Pryor, number 24. Bobby Bowden took this job at FSU in 1976. He'd been at West Virginia, and the duck indicates it's time for the Aflac trivia question. Who was Florida State's head coach prior to Bobby Bowden? FSU fans will get that, but the rest of the country might not remember. 2nd down and 6. It's going to be 3rd and 3 or 4, depending on the spot. Let's go back and spend a moment in the studio. Here's Tim Brando.
Vern, earlier on the college football today in your conversation with Bobby Bowden, he talked about, Miami is on the come. Well, here's Javaris James in from 2 yards out. If this score holds up, Miami, now leading 21-3, would have a 9-win season, their first 9-win year since 2005. Prophetic words indeed from Bobby. Back to you, Vern.
17-0 here, Tim. 3rd and 3, Florida State.
FSU is 48% on the year, 3rd down conversions, 0 for 3 today.
4-man Florida rush. Manuel fires it deep, and it'll be incomplete. Intended for Burt Reed, the sophomore, and Will Hill was chasing. Ahmad Black and Burt Reed having a chat with each other.
Well, pretty athletic move to get away from the pass rush, and then just not a very good throw. Opportunity to get a first down right there. Will Hill in coverage, but Reed had no chance to catch that one.
Burt Reed, 5'11", 165-pound wide receiver, among those who had committed to Florida and then decommitted and signed with FSU. Here's the punt. Brandon James will pick it up at the 31. And the counter punch is out to the 49, perhaps the 50. 42-yard punt, 18-yard return. Nigel Bradham, number 13, made the stop.
Yeah, I think Nigel Bradham was trying to get even for that block that James blocked the time before, because he laid it on him.
17-zip Gators.
Tim Brando in New York. Coming up with the Geico halftime report, Spencer Tony and I will get you caught up on all of today's action, including an upset in the Egg Bowl. Chris Relf to Chad Bumpus on a 4th and 9 play, and Mississippi State upsets the Rebels, opening the door for the Capital One Bowl to the winner of LSU Arkansas tonight.
Welcome back to the Swamp. It was inaugurated as Florida Field in 1930. Florida and Alabama. And in 1930, the capacity was 21,000 people. The play-by-play man was a student at the University of Florida named Red Barber. About a week shy of 79 years ago. Tebow back to throw, fires at right side rather. And this is Brandon James. Gary, let's dissect the 2 Florida touchdowns.
Well, would you like to play free safety against the option game? Corey Magnum right there, number 22, on the first touchdown, overruns the tight end, his man. They pitch it, touchdown. Now watch the next time. He gets yelled at. This time he stays with the tight end. So what does Tebow do? Touchdown. He's going to say, Coach, now what do I do?
2nd and 8. Demps split top of the screen, now comes in motion. Tebow back to throw, right side. Hernandez again makes the grab just short of the first down line. He's actually 3 yards short in front of Patrick Robinson, number 21.
So Corey Mangum right now is going to Coach and say, Coach, I'm confused.
3rd and 3. Florida is 5 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Cooper and Nelson wide right. One of the seniors, David Nelson, comes to the near side. Option, inside pitch, Hernandez, so they run it right, and they get a first down.
Dakota Watson this time had Hernandez man-to-man. He reads it properly and slightly overruns it. That's the athlete that Hernandez is. You know, that's one of the things that Florida does. When they got you in a vice, they keep squeezing it.
Well, Tebow's hit his last 10 passes. Here goes number 11, deep right side. It's incomplete. Riley Cooper thought for a second he had it.
That's who he likes to go deep to. Bump and run coverage. Cooper's usually very physical. Bail technique by Robinson that time. And he could have caught that ball.
You bet.
Tebow got pressure as he let it go and took a hit. Riley Cooper has caught some passes, but he's missed some deep ones lately.
Well,
two against South Carolina.
Exactly, and there was the two were roommates, Tebow and Cooper. And Tim took the high road yesterday and said that Cooper was angry at a defensive back. Here we go again. Hernandez. Touchdown, Florida, no flags. There's going to be, this will be excessive celebration. Hernandez forgot you're not allowed to throw it in the stands.
I don't think he forgot. I think he thinks this game's over. He's willing to take the evil eye stare of the coach because he says, I'm good.
We have a touchdown following the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 81 of the offense, throwing the ball into the stands. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Now that's excessive celebration.
Absolutely.
It was the third way to run the shovel pass in this game. They ran it with the keeper. They ran it with the pitch. And this time they ran it with him flanked wide. But watch the shovel pass from Tebow again.
Remember when it used to be called the Utah pass?
Yes. He lines up tight, then he goes out and comes back in. Beautiful play.
37-yard reception.
Hernandez right there. He's going to go out and then come right back in for the shovel pass. Oh, he doesn't go much out at all. It's just a delay shovel pass inside. It took a while, but Hernandez runs through a secondary like he's a wide receiver, and he lets it go. Almost to the second deck.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to be guilty of excessive celebration, make a big hit. Welcome back to the Swamp, so named in 1991 by the former head coach Steve Spurrier, whose rivalry with Bobby Bowden forged the seriousness of this relationship. Bobby 7-9, by the way, as a visiting coach in this facility.
Well, the difference in skill level, athletic skill level, is striking. I mean, we were here 2 years ago. I've done Florida State my whole career. It almost reminds me of the way Tennessee looked a few years ago against Florida, where they just didn't match up.
From the 15 now, and they'll squib this one along the ground, taken at the 42. And across the 50 to the 44.
Well, when there was only one defensive lineman on the field for Florida State, that means they had their skill guys in. When he catches this ball, there were 9 guys back there, and not one of them made a tackle on a tight end. That's not Percy Harvin running. That's a tight end. And Hernandez is going to could cost his team 3 points at least here.
Steve Adazio is asking Hernandez, please explain yourself.
Well, and Adazio recruited Hernandez,
exactly,
right?
Yes. First down at the 44. Manuel fires it out. Could be intercepted again. Joe Hayden. That's his 4th interception of the year. Intended for Burt Reed. Manuel had 3 intercepted last week in the win over Maryland. That's his first in this game.
Misread by the young quarterback. He thought Hayden had man-to-man coverage, but he bailed it, and a young football player is learning the hard way. But and don't send the letters to me, it's varsity against junior varsity out here today.
Yeah. Hayden and the Gators up by 24 with 53 seconds to go. Now, do you step on the throat here? No, apparently you don't. You take a knee.
Look at this. 3 timeouts.
Well, let's go back and answer the Aflac trivia question. I knew he was there. Go back to 1975, and the head coach, Darryl, some sarcasm there, Dr. Victory Mudra. He coached for 2 years, 74 and 75. He was preceded by Larry Jones, who took over from Bill Peterson. Bobby Bowden actually applied for the job in 1970, and it went to Larry Jones. Well, they've got a huge hill to climb, as the Florida Gators' stated intention back in August was to become the first Gator football team to go through the season without a defeat. Bobby Bowden's with Tracy Wolfson.
Coach, you give up almost 300 total yards in the first half. How do you get this fixed?
Well, we've got to turn it around somehow in the second half. Now, we've been kind of that way all year.
Your young quarterback making his first start in a hostile environment like this, what will you tell him?
Well, just try to settle him down. That's all you can do. You're right. He's a freshman. He's starting his 3rd ball game in a very loud stadium. Communication is very difficult, but he'll learn a lot.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you, Tracy. End of the first half. It's 24-0 here. Let's go back to Tim Brando in our New York studios.
Thanks, Vern. Coming up with the Geico halftime report, Spencer Tony and I will have all of today's action, including TCU wraps up a perfect season and is now BCS Bowl bound. Question is, where will the Horned Frogs land? After this word from your local station.
Gators by 24 as the sun sets here in Gainesville, and we begin the 3rd quarter. And right now, Tracy Wolfson a moment ago with Urban Meyer.
Urban, offensively, defensively, are you putting together that complete game that you've waited to see all season?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you play defense the way we're playing right now, that kind of takes control of the game. And then the one drive where we came out of our own 6-yard line and drove it the length of the field, those are the two components of the first half when you have a play like that.
How do you keep them focused and make sure they don't look ahead to next week?
Well, there's a lot riding on this, and plus you still know who you're playing. There's still great athletes over there that can come back like this. So just finish the game. Play as hard. This is going to be 30 minutes of great football.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
All right, Tracy, thank you. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, the Swamp, renamed from Florida Field as Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in 1989 in honor of one of the benevolent donors here at the University of Florida. Patrick Robinson is the deep man. Caleb Surgis will kick off. We're underway with quarter number 3. Robinson at the 4. Down at the 22. As we get set for the start of the third, Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, along with Tracy. What kind of superlatives do you want to use for Florida?
Well, it's one of those things you close your eyes and pick a stat,
right.
you know, this stat, you know, dominance. I mean, what do they had? How many plays does Florida State run? They don't have any third down conversions. It's just dominance. They're just too good for them.
Yeah, they really, really are, and they're in quest of their 22nd consecutive victory and in command right now.
Well, if Christian Ponder was playing, I think he would move the chains. But could they stop Florida? That's another question.
There's the pass and almost intercepted by Janoris Jenkins, intended for Burt Reed. Second down.
Burt Reed was open, and if this ball would have been shot to him a little bit more authority, watch the ball's lobbed and behind and allows Jenkins to make up the ground and knock it down.
Look at this, Tebow with 2 passes, touchdowns, both to Hernandez. Manuel with only 2 pass completions. Option, nothing. It's going to be third down. And just to underline the point Gary just made about this Florida defense on third down conversions, they've been terrific all year. They had 2 stretches earlier in the season. In games between South Carolina and FIU, they denied 13 consecutive third down attempts. Earlier in the season, in games overlapping between LSU and Arkansas, they denied 18 straight. It's 3rd and 10 right here. Oh, the pressure from Dunlap. And now Moore, and Manuel gets away, but forget about it. It's going to be 4th down.
Well, Carlos Dunlap, the MVP of the national championship game, has been unblockable. Well, it's easy to be unblockable when the right guard forgets to go out in a stance.
Oh, my
I don't
gosh.
know what kind of gimmick play that was, but it didn't work. Sanders never got out of his stance.
No. Dunlap limping off. That's not a good sign.
That had to be a trick play that didn't trick anyone.
Especially Sanders. Brandon James will let it bounce. It takes an FSU hop. And we'll be down at the 36-yard line. That's a 34-yard punt. Nothing on the return. And time now for the halftime trends.
Well, Tebow 13 for 16, and probably 5 of those were behind the line of scrimmage and shovel passes, but they all work and they all count. Well, the young quarterback is going to learn. He's going to learn a lot today playing against this defense. Aaron Hernandez is coming out to be a pressure receiver where you have to stop him. He's a pressure point in this offense, and Florida State not good.
Out of the spread, 1st down and 10. Rainey is the running back. Tebow in trouble. Fires it. Got it!
Wow. Whoa.
How about that? Deontay Thompson, Marcus White almost had Tebow.
Well, I thought he was going to be in the grasp. Then I thought he was going to get sacked. Then I thought he might scramble. But you talk about being strong. He takes on 2 defensive ends right here. 2 defensive ends and makes the throw.
I'm thinking of what Mickey Andrews said. You've ultimately got to get him down on the ground. This is Rainey coming left. Nothing there. It'll be 3rd down. Helmet comes flying off.
here comes another one of those third down conversion plays for Florida State. 6 for 8 in the game so far. Remember early they blitzed Florida and were successful. Will they come back and do that? It looks like they're coming with that gimmick defense where there only is one defensive lineman on the field and they use a lot of linebackers and defensive backs. One lineman right there. Guys are down a 3-point stance, but that's a linebacker.
3rd and 4, they bring the blitz. Tebow across the middle. It's caught, first down. David Nelson, a 5th-year senior. He's one of 4 who were part of Urban Meyer's original recruiting class.
David Nelson, who came on so strong last year. Look at all the space. You're a quarterback. You know you're going to throw that ball in space. And you just throw it. That was a perfect throw. Nelson ate it up.
Nelson's 18th catch of the year. Tebow goes deep for Cooper in the end zone. It is caught. It is a touchdown. Florida Gators, roommate to roommate.
This was no shovel pass.
My, oh my. Tebow is 16 of 19 for 217 yards. Caleb Sturgis with the extra point. Blocked, and it's going to be returned. There's a lateral, and then finally recovered by the Florida Gators. So Sturgis has the extra point attempt blocked. There's a flag down. McNeil blocked it. Matt Austin.
The kick is no good. Following the block, personal foul, number 98 of the defense. A 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
First the block kick, Gary.
Well, Urban's going to find something to work on for next week against Alabama right in this game. Right up the gut, blocked by McNeil. But, you know, that touchdown pass, ooh, there's the late hit right at the end.
That was Marcus White.
Yeah, Marcus White real late on that play. Watch White come in here and just take a cheap shot at the end of the play. Now, one-on-one to the outside. Patrick Robinson has Riley Cooper, and the ball is put up high, and the big receiver goes up. Doesn't drop this one.
.27 to go, third quarter. Florida's Tebow hits Florida's Cooper for a touchdown. Extra point blocked. It's 30-0 as the Gators go in quest of their 22nd in a row. Just a footnote, Tim Tebow has had only 4 300-yard passing games in his career. Only 4. And the last came in the last loss. That was to Ole Miss. I mentioned that because right now he's got 217 yards, and the speculation begins as to how long Urban Meyer will leave him in the game. I would think he's going to let him play deep into the fourth quarter today and enjoy this.
Deep in the fourth quarter? I don't know about that.
No, not deep. Early.
Not deep.
Okay,
early.
Not
I'll
deep.
Go early.
Early? All right.
All right. Play action pass right here, and watch the free safety. Patrick Robinson thought he had help. He who hesitates is lost. Watch this. Hesitate one step, you're done. The free safety, the Robinson thought he had help in the middle, and that ball was right there. Outside technique, I got a safety, I'm on my own. And Riley Cooper is becoming a force to the other side. 81 and 11. They're almost the same size.
Yeah. 8th touchdown of the year for Riley Cooper. Elected to come back for his senior season. He signed a baseball contract with the Texas Rangers There's the pass complete to Taiwan Easterling, the 5'11 sophomore. That's his 32nd catch of the year. Well, next week we've got the SEC championship game, and then a week later on Saturday, December 12th, we'll move our whole crew into Philadelphia for the Army-Navy game. And that will all begin with Tim and Spencer in the pregame show December 12th at 2 o'clock Eastern, as Army-Navy has moved a week later into the season, and we look forward to being there. First down and 10, Manuel. Under pressure, flips it out, it's caught. Boy, did he take a pop. And down the sidelines goes Burt Reed. Ryan Stamper was the one who pressured him.
Yeah,
and,
I think the receiver did not know this play, and if they was blocking downfield on it. Not quite sure what happened there. The flag was thrown. I'm pretty sure the wide receiver was blocking downfield. Jamon Fortson.
Block in the back. Offense number 80.
Yep.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, first down.
Yeah, he pushed him in the back on the play. Watch it come in the right side of your screen, a shove in the back, and that was what caused the missed tackle on the play.
Ryan Stamper, no, it was Will Hill coming on the blitz. Will Hill, the safety. And number 10 got there. Look at this. That's a moderate gain, and Brandon Spikes makes the tackle.
That was the first physical play that Brandon Spikes was involved in this football game. He likes to set the tempo of a game. He'll have a few more opportunities against Alabama when they run the ball between the tackles than he has today.
Second down, 13. See those 2 interceptions. He returned another one for a touchdown. Last week, he's got 4 in his career now, but not close to an interception today. Little flip left side. Incomplete, intended for Burt Reed, number 83. Reed came in. He and Rod Owens, the leading receivers on this team, with 53 catches for the season. That's each. But boy, the passing game has been.
No, they're not ready.
No.
You know, Jimbo Fisher's trying to do anything he can to find a few plays. Quarterback draw, wide receiver screen. He ran a sneak, got caught with a penalty there. But for him to drop back and throw 3rd and long, not a good scenario.
Well, here we are, 3rd and 13. Manuel, left side. And that pass is complete as they went underneath and pick up the first down to the 45. First 3rd down completion today, but there is a flag.
Yeah, I wonder if it's roughing the passer on this play because he got hit just as he let the ball go. Manuel, good protection this time. Lets it go. Yes.
Foul,
oh, yes.
Roughing the passer, 94 defense. 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Not only was he late, he put his helmet right in his chin.
And Charlie Strong, the defensive coordinator, looking on. Justin Tratto, who was the hero with the interception in the South Carolina game. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. No excuse for that.
And after the penalty, first down at the 39-yard line. Blitz. Manuel. Trouble. Got it complete out in the wing to the right. And that'll be a gain of about 6 to the running back, Jermaine Thomas, number 38. Wow. Florida State, this will be the 7th play in Gator territory. 2nd down and 5. 30-0 with 9 to go, 3rd quarter.
See if they throw a quick tempo pass, quick slant, something quick in and out of his hands.
Rush coming from the corner, near side, batted down by Joe Hayden.
See, that's the problem. When you go quick tempo, like I was anticipating, what these Florida defensive backs are doing is seeing the same thing. They saw a quick drop by the quarterback, and Joe Hayden just squatted all over that.
Hayden among those who, in his junior year, has announced that he'll consult with his family at the end of this season, whenever it ends, about the possibility of submitting his name for the NFL draft. Carlos Dunlap is another Gator who faces that possibility. Here's Manuel under pressure. Oh boy, should have been intercepted. Janoris Jenkins, as Manuel was really harassed on the play.
I don't know if this ball was tipped or not. Quick roll to the outside. Oh, he got hit. Yes, it was tipped also, I think, on the play. I think Spikes might have got his hand on that. Had he not, I think it would have been intercepted.
4th down, Florida State will go for it.
They're going to take a timeout, though.
Coaching moment for Jimbo Fisher, the coach in waiting at Florida State. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Coca-Cola Zero, Chick-fil-A, New York Life, and by the Home Depot. I've never heard a song about the moon shining on Gainesville, but never know. 4th down. 4th and 4, trailing by 30 in Florida State after the timeout. We'll go for it. Whoa. Flag is down, pass is thrown away, and look at the offensive line. Look at them. They haven't moved yet.
There's a gimmick, the same gimmick play they tried before that caused a sack. This time, I think it was
Brandon
Ryan's.
Hicks,
was it Hicks or Stamper that went offside? I think it was Stamper.
I'll place a small wager with you.
You think it was Hicks?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Offensive line still standing on the field in their three-point stance.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty.
Who was it?
Still 4th down.
No, he said 41. I heard it.
No. But he didn't say 40.
Thought I might catch you.
Here's your quarter. So 4th and 1. 4th and a smidgen, as they might say.
We both were wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
It was Hicks.
All right, but what do you mean we're both wrong?
Well, I was closer.
No. I said Hicks. I can't say it any more clearly.
All right, you got it. You got it. You won it.
All right. We do not get along.
No, we get along great. Unbalanced line left.
4th and inches.
Fumbled the snap.
Yes. Now, who got the ball?
I think he made the handoff, but fumbled the snap early.
Apparently, Florida State got it.
And it looked like they made it. Watch him bobble the snap twice, catches it, hands it off. Boy, coming around the back end, Ahmad Black came right around the back end, almost made that play.
They will call the chain out for the measurement. First down.
Well, how about that? On 4th down and 5.5, or 4th down and 6, they ran a gimmick play to get 5. Then they bobbled the snap on 4th down, and they made it by a half a yard. But they made it. I think a hitch and go or slant and go would be a play you could use. The Florida DBs are trying to pick off every ball.
1st and 10. Blitz. Manuel. That could be a fumble. It is. who got it. It looks like Lonnie Pryor might have recovered on first down. Oh, the rush from the backside, the blind side. Brandon Hicks.
Yeah, Brandon Hicks was matched up on a running back that time, one-on-one. Watch the matchup right here on Pryor, the freshman. He takes him on and not strong enough. Lonnie Pryor, the freshman, gets run over.
A.J. Jones, who started most of the year at that linebacker spot, injured last week on crutches. So Brandon Hicks, who did start previously, or has in his career, is out there now. Inside pass. That's to Jarman Fortson, number 80. And Will Hill, who has had a very effective ball game, is there to make the tackle, number 10. Third and a mile.
That's a trademark play for Jimbo Fisher's offense, those wide receiver screens on long yardage situations.
Jimbo Fisher, 2000, December 10th, was announced as the coach in waiting. Offensive coordinator right now. He will take over the reins when Bobby Bowden finishes his career. 3rd and 17. 3 down for the Gators. They'll rush 4, and they do it effectively. Screen pass, left side, spin move, and it'll be 4th down as Dunlap catches up with Thomas.
How about that back-to-back effective calls by Jimbo Fisher? He just doesn't have enough experience at quarterback, so he does what he can. This time a well-executed screen pass that I thought Thomas had a little more out of this play, but Jenkins did a good job of getting inside.
Now Dustin Hopkins is going to try and get Florida State on the board. He has hit 8 of his last 9. This is from 41. Had a slow start to the season when he was 4 of 8, but he's come on late. But not this time. Hooked it, left. Hopkins misses badly from 41. No, that won't help. Urban Meyer, we still got the shutout. Welcome back to the Swamp. Florida leads it 30 to nothing here in the third quarter. Yesterday, the game for the ages between Alabama and Auburn. Late in the game, 1:24. McElroy finds Roy Upchurch, his first receiving touchdown of his career. Then the desperation pass, and the All-American Orlando McClain knocks it down. And in a thriller, Alabama remains undefeated as they defeat Auburn 26-21, and they will go on to the SEC championship game. McElroy, Gary, 7 of 7 on that final drive.
Yeah, and you know, that was the question mark, whether he could take his team when the pressure was on, and he did it. You got to feel, if you're an Alabama fan, good about going in that game on the left side, but on the right side of that last graphic, your running back has a hip pointer.
And only 30 yards yesterday. Here's Tebow. Option right, he's still got it. Oh, what a late pitch. That was almost a forward lateral.
And it's a pass.
Yeah.
He was across the line of scrimmage.
So that one will come back.
Yep. And that's why, remember, if he's behind the line of scrimmage, that would be legal. And this one, he was about 2.5 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Pass. Number 15 of the offense. Quarterback passed the ball forward beyond the neutral zone. Loss of down, 2nd down.
Well, Hebrew is I'm thinking of the Bible passage. Tim started wearing this Bible passages under his eye black as a profession of his faith. I think you all know his dad is an evangelist, a missionary. And we asked him yesterday, he started this early in the season last year. Asked if he had picked a Bible verse for his final game, and he had not yesterday. I'll tell you what this one says in just a moment. 2nd down. Tebow. He fumbled. An unlikely end to a terrific play. 47 yards, second longest of his career.
You can look, even the Florida State players are kind of giving Tebow his due. He tries to get down and then give the Heisman straight arm right there. But from the other side, it gets poked loose from the other side. A great play by Robinson. Patrick Robinson comes from behind and steals the ball.
Well, that Bible verse is even more ironic now. It comes from Hebrews 12th chapter, 12th verse. And it reads, "Therefore, strengthen the hands that are weak and the knees that are feeble." Turnover, Tebow. Aerial coverage of the SEC on CBS Sports is provided by Direct TV. That fumble, Tebow's fumble at the end of the 47-yard run, is the first turnover by Florida State in the last 5 games. Mississippi State. And it comes with 5:16 to go in the third quarter. First down 10. Little pass right side caught by Burt Reed, number 83. Flies down the sidelines and reaches the 50-yard line.
Well, little mistake. The two guys that were introduced last, we came on the air, Tebow and Spikes, 15 and 51.
Florida State, excuse me, Gary.
Yes. Florida rotating their linebackers in and out of the game to stay fresh like they've done since Tebow went down.
Reed in motion, option play, left side, the pitch to Burt Reed. Gets a great block at the 46-yard line. My goodness. Now let's go back to the studio for this John Hancock update. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Ryan Williams with another touchdown run, his third of the day for the Hokies. They're looking to play on New Year's Day, perhaps 21-13. Again, another bad uniform change. I'd love to get you guys' opinion on these incredibly bad uniform choices being made, all for money. Back to you.
Just say what you think, Tim.
Right.
I wonder what you have to say about the Oregon uniforms over the past few years. Thomas.
Number 38, Jermaine Thomas.
Well, Mr. Brando, I'm in your corner. 30-0, Florida, leading Florida State, 3:52 to go. Bobby Bowden, of course, a graduate of Howard University. Later, Samford began his coaching career there. And when will it all be over for him? Back in 2002, he had a conversation with the late Steve Ellis, a sports writer in Tallahassee. And here's the quote: "What is my toleration point? It's pretty strong. What I don't want to do is coach longer than I should, where I feel I can't do it. You watch boxers. They fight 1 year too long. I hope I don't do that. Whenever I get out, I must leave it in good order." That's part of the challenge, I think, is that it's not in good order right now.
It's being rebuilt from the bottom up again.
Right.
They're pretty strong freshmen and sophomores. Today isn't a good judge. Without their quarterback, they're not ready.
Here's Manuel, who is out there, and there's a tackle made at the 25-yard line as Burt Reed makes the stop. Christian Ponder, the starter, out with an injury that is going to cost him the year. Take another look at Burt Reed.
Yeah, Reed runs a nice route and then does a nice reaction to a throw that was inside. That ball was supposed to be thrown to the outside. Christian Ponder has gone from starting quarterback to shield.
Yeah.
He shields the plays.
Oh, boy. Out of Colleyville, Texas, Christian Ponder. He's already gotten his undergraduate degree. He's in graduate school of Florida State. Here's the handoff to Thomas going left, number 38. Brandon Hicks with the tackle. 2.5 to go, third quarter.
Well, I hate to say it, but the Florida defense is starting to think about the Alabama offense, not the Florida State offense right now. Their intensity level has gone down, and they're starting to watch the clock.
Which now shows 2:06 to go in the third. Charlie Strong, he goes back to Urban Meyer's days at Notre Dame as an assistant coach. Underneath, caught at the 10. First and goal at the 5-yard line as Rod Owens makes the catch.
Nice job by E.J. Manuel here, delivering this ball right where it had to go. Get the protection up front, looks one way, comes back the other way. Nice pitch and catch, and Rod Owens makes another positive play.
A little look of disappointment from Tebow as his fumble that set up this possession. Down to the 3-yard line goes Jermaine Thomas. Ryan Stamper makes the tackle. What'd you say, Gary? The last time Florida State was shut out was
2006, Wake Forest. How about that?
Yeah.
30-0, by the way.
9th play of the drive. 2nd and goal. Lonnie Pryor, number 24, is the running back here. Here's Manuel. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2 as Major Wright, number 21, makes the tackle.
See, Joe Hayden's not on the field. Brandon Spike's not on the field.
Got Wandy Pierre-Louis, who has not played much this year. He's at left corner, one of the seniors. Third and goal.
And they're coming. You can see it. 2 outside guys are coming. Linebackers.
Manuel deep in the end zone. Wandy Pierre-Louis makes the play as a defensive back and knocks it away from Rodney Smith.
Dustin Doe's coming. Hicks is coming from the outside. That means it's 1-on-1 to the inside. This ball had to be poorly thrown. It was. Behind and gave Pierre-Louis a chance to make the play.
Seminoles will go for it on 4th and goal.
Janoris Jenkins, by the way, is also out of the game with a hip injury. And that's the quarter.
Timeout.
Oh, they did take a timeout.
Yeah.
Play clock was running down?
I think so. So that's the 2nd timeout taken by Florida State. And it comes with 3 seconds to go, quarter number 3. During the timeout, Bobby Bowden decided 3 points was better than 7, or at least he wanted to get on the scoreboard. So Hopkins will attempt the field goal from 20 yards out. There goes the shutout, and so Florida State University joins Charleston Southern and Florida International as teams that have scored 3 points against Florida this year.
Well, in their non-conference games, they've given up a total in 4 games, 15 points all year.
That's the end of the 3rd with our score 30-3. We'll return to Ben Hill Griffin Stadium right after this word from your local station. One of the traditions here at the Swamp is for the fans of Florida to stand and sing "We Are the Boys" at the end of the 3rd quarter. Gary, I've never seen the players join in that song.
Yeah, they significantly believe that this game is over, and they're right. And that's quite a scene. His linemen, 3 of his linemen, and Hernandez. I wonder what that means. 3 of those guys were juniors.
Right.
And Hernandez has a chance to be a very high draft pick, and so do the Pounces.
Are you suggesting that
might be a run for the NFL draft?
Yeah. Brandon James is deep at the 5. Riley Cooper is also back there. Here's James. Out to the 22-yard line as Tim Tebow and the Gators come back on the field. They lead it now 30-3. How long do you think we'll see seniors now?
I think they may take guys out as it goes, but Tebow, I think, gets one more series. He probably wants to take them out after a score.
He had a 47-yard run with a fumble. You and I had the same thought as he was running down the field.
Well, I think he's not going to win the Heisman in this game, but he's back in the Heisman. It's going to be that Saturday. Colt McCoy's in it. Ingram, if he has one of those games against Florida's defense, and Tim Tebow. One of those three, I think, will win it.
First down, here's Tebow. Sweep to the right. It's Demps. It's still Demps. It's going to be Demps until he's knocked out of bounds at the 14.5-yard line. What a run by the speedster, 65 yards. That's his longest of the season.
Did you see Nigel Bradham, number 13, run with Demps? That's a linebacker running with a world-class athlete for Florida State. Watch this. Watch him come into the picture and watch Bradham, number 13, run with Demps down the field. Don't quite get him in the picture. There he is. And then Robinson comes on the angle to make the play. That was impressive.
Take another look at the end zone.
Game, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Coming into the picture, chasing him, stride for stride, stride for stride. That's a world-class sprinter. And the linebacker now, I admit, you don't want to give up those 70-yard plays, but just the ability to run like that.
Gary, take a look at this. Here's Florida at the 20-yard line. Look at all the flash bulbs going off.
You know what I think is
look at this.
It might be the last time they see Tebow. That's what they think.
Absolutely. There's Rainey going left. I mean, this is extraordinary. It looks like the 4th of July.
Or like the beginning of a Super Bowl. You know, everybody wants to commemorate the start. I think people are anticipating this might be Tebow's last drive as a Gator at home.
And remember, Houston Nutt told us last week he wanted a do-over when it came to Dexter McCluster in the lineup. I need a do-over on the Bible verse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I misread it. I thought it was Hebrews 12:12. It's Hebrews 12 verses 1 and 2.
Oh.
More to follow. Second down.
This is going around. Look at the flashes.
It's amazing. Here's Tebow. He'll keep it.
Uh-oh.
Down at the 10, it'll be third down. Now, I read you the Bible verse that was Hebrews 12:12, and here's what Tim chose. And I think it's important enough that it was his selection. I ought to get it right. Here's what the first verse reads. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. It's appropriate, huh? Third down.
You know, I think this is a way of signaling that they're saluting. It's almost, these people with these camera phones now, it's a way of almost cheering for the team in the dark here with these flashes.
And it's timeout taken by the Florida Gators, Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow. Urban Meyer said he'll never see Tebow's likes again.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Take you through some of the scoring plays tonight. Here's Aaron Hernandez inside, the little shovel pass from Tim Tebow. And then Sturgis, a 37-yard field goal to make it 10-0. Same play, Tebow keeps it this time, cuts upfield for 18 yards to make it 17-0. Hernandez, 37-yard touchdown reception. That made it 24-zip. And then Riley Cooper, a 39-yard reception from Tim Tebow. The extra point was blocked, made it 30-0, and Hopkins with a 20-yard field goal, and that's our score now. And here is Tebow on third down. Into the corner. That is going to be close for the first down at the 5-yard line. David Nelson with the catch. Bob and Pam. Tebow's parents, he was born in the Philippines, you know, his dad with a mission there. 3 of his 4 siblings are here. 2 brothers and a sister. The other sister, Christy, watching from Bangladesh.
Well, do they run Tebow and basically come full circle? First time we saw him against Tennessee, will this be the last time? Or will they go jump pass here? Remember, he warned, we'll do it if it's there.
Oh boy, there's a hit at the line of scrimmage. He struggles, and I believe he got the first down. Nick Moody, number 10, met Tim Tebow with help from Kendall Smith.
Well, I know he made it past the line, and that's all he had to do with a 5-yard line, but he took a shot. You're right about that. Oh, head on, Kendall Smith. I'll just bet he wants to finish with a jump pass.
I'm thinking the same thing. We talked about that with Tim yesterday, Gary and Tracy and Craig Silver, our producer, Steve Melton, our director, and he said, kind of conspiratorially, he said it's in the playbook.
Well, not for my formation, it isn't.
No, it's not. You're absolutely right. Left side, Rainey to the 1.
Tebow wants a play. Tebow is begging for a play. I wonder if it's one of these.
This was Tate Casey.
The first one.
That was the first. Number 2 at Kentucky. Number 3 against Tennessee. And then number 4 in the national championship game.
Well, Tebow was lobbying for a play. Let's see if he gets it.
Out of the spread. Perfect! It's blocked!
Hernandez got tackled, he says. You knew he wanted that play.
Oh my gosh.
Does Hernandez get tackled on the play as he comes out? He's the left tight end on the play. Right there. Let's see what happens on the play. Gets tackled inside, or it would have been a jump pass to finish off the career.
And no flag.
Marcus White got away with a tackle.
Third down. Option. Tebow. Touchdown. Florida Gators. Caleb Sturgis on for the extra point. Chaz Henry will hold it.
Well, Tebow had a flair for the dramatic. He wanted to finish it off with the jump pass. We could see him lobbying out on the field. He got it, and then Florida State didn't go along. So the next play, they come back with the option the other way, and Tebow finishes it off with the option play.
Bob and Pam Tebow. By the way, I guess Tim wouldn't mind if we told you that his mom turned 60 this week. He looked at me and said, "Can you believe that?" And I said, "Yeah, I can believe that." The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Miller High Life, Sonic, Geico, and by Verizon Wireless. Back in Swamp, 37-3, 10:18 to go in the ball game. And Tim Tebow really wanted to finish this possession with the jump pass.
Now it's time for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Action Cam.
Well, it's Aaron Hernandez right here, gets tackled, which is a good play. You're supposed to tackle those ends on that play, but should have been interference. But the flair for the dramatic was there almost. Steve Adazio says almost. And they wanted to finish. You know, if this was a movie, if you made a movie, it would have worked as a jump pass to finish his days in the Swamp.
Yeah, he's now 4 for 5 with the jump pass. Now, do you think next time they get the ball, he comes out?
One play.
For a token, exactly. Yeah. Two rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns.
And I'm starting to read Alabama-Florida notes, so take over. Anybody want to do color the rest of the game?
Oh, my goodness. We're lined up at the door, Gary. That opportunity. This is Greg Reed, number 5. Will Hill with the tackle.
Well, let's not lose one more fact in this. Urban Meyer, what he's done against the Big Three, he now is 14-1. 5-0 against Florida State, 5-0 against Tennessee, and 4-1 against Georgia. That's the formula for a winning program.
Well, we're giving him the win here. I think that's without question. First down and 10. Manuel, left side. Breaks a tackle. This is Willie Halstead, number 82, and D. Finley, number 13, who's getting some playing time now as Urban Meyer resting many of the seniors. In all, there were 24 honored today, including, as we told you, Michael Guilford, who was a scout team quarterback, killed in a motorcycle accident in 07. Well, Tim Tebow made the promise. A very famous statement 45 minutes after the last loss this team suffered here. It's now chiseled in stone. It literally is out at the entrance to the athletic offices. Burt Reed with this catch in which he said, "No one will ever try harder than I will for the rest of the season." They haven't lost a game since.
Well, they're a very experienced team. They have no stage fright in them. They get in those football games, no matter how big a game, you're going to get their best performance. But they got a foe coming up in Alabama that I think is a better team this year than they faced last year.
And last year was a 31-20 victory for Florida. Fourth quarter heroics by the Gators. Manuel back, 4-man rush. He fires it short on 2nd and 11. Bo Relaford. Well, we're going to have undefeated against undefeated next week. The Florida Gators and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Both will be 12-0. Not that we're looking forward to it at all.
I've been doing interviews for about 3 weeks. That's all anybody wants to talk about. I've been like pushing them away.
3rd and 4. Manuel, left side. Flag is down. This might be an interference call. It was intended for Fortson, number 80, and Wandy Pierre-Louis, the defender.
Pass interference, defense number 4. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Well, take a look at the standings in the SEC East. Florida about to win their 12th game. They finished a conference record, perfect 8-0. Georgia with a big game at Georgia Tech tonight. Kentucky, Rich Brooks, how about the job he continues to do there? Tennessee, South Carolina, big win today, and Vandy, bottom of the list with a 2-10. First down and 10. Reverse.
Pass.
Easterling trying to, being chased, gets loose. Pretty nifty run to the 45-yard line. Lorenzo Edwards, number 26, getting some playing time with the tackle.
Well, Taiwan Easterling was a high school quarterback, then a wide receiver, but you know he can throw the football. Florida not fooled at all. Safety deep in the field. They stayed home and forced Easterling to run it out and get what he could get out of it. Positive play, but not the home run play.
Second down and 3. Easterling heads to the sideline. 7:20 remaining in this one. That one's caught by Rod Owens. And that'll be another first down. How about the SEC West, where Alabama finishes the season 8-0 in conference play and 12-0. LSU faces Arkansas tonight. Ole Miss defeated by Mississippi State. And Dan Mullen, the former offensive coordinator here at Florida. Big win in the Egg Bowl for Mississippi State. And it all sets up 2 undefeated teams for the championship next week.
That big win, I think, today, obviously, this one, but South Carolina over Clemson, a team going to play for the championship, a real statement game for the SEC.
Manuel deep right side. Got a man open. It's caught by Fortson.
Jarman Fortson, balls up in the air. And to the outside, Marquis Anderson is the guy in coverage, but not tall enough to make that play. Nice throw by Manuel. Hanging in there, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, what is he, 16 for 25?
Right.
And as Bobby said at halftime, he'll learn something.
First and goal. Left side for Fortson. Tussle in the end zone. Touchdown, Florida State. Nine-yard touchdown pass over Adrian Bichelle.
Well, the backup's in for Florida. Nice fade to the outside, and Bichelle has really no chance on this one.
No.
He never even got off the ground, did he?
Extra point coming up. It's 37-10. With 6:03 remaining. When we come back, Gators on offense. That should mean Tim Tebow one final time.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry. You know, we were hoping for an undefeated season. That was my goal. Something Florida's never done here. But I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. You have never seen any player in the entire country play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of the season, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of this season. God bless.
That was Tim's promise, as it's now known, after their loss to Ole Miss September 27th a year ago. They've not lost since. Talked to him yesterday about his legacy. He said, I want people to remember that I cared about being a Florida Gator, that I cared about being a student here, that I cared about my coach and my teammates. He does bring a passion to it all.
He does. But I think it's going to take another Tebow fourth quarter effort to beat Alabama. He's going to have one of his best games like he did last year. This Alabama team is improved offense and defense.
Frankie Hammond getting some action at kickoff return spot out to the 23. He was back 6 yards into the end zone.
Well, what are they going to do?
They're going to bring Tim Tebow out at least once more.
He's accounted for 5 touchdowns today. There's the first pass. Then the option run off the same play. Then the deep ball to Riley Cooper. And the last one, the option play.
And here's Tebow in the spread. Out to the 26-yard line. Flag. Tim congratulating his and thanking his teammates more than anything else. Mike Gillisley, number 23, seldom used running back. In the final moment in the swamp for the greatest player to ever play for the University of Florida. At least one more play, I think.
Well, he's got the backup unit ready to go.
Second down. Penalty was declined. The ball is at the 23. And John Brantley comes on. Tim Tebow has concluded his brilliant career in regular season.
Back up.
Gillisley. Well, take a look. Pretty good list.
Yeah. And you know, those 2 national championships, he had a big part in the first one, and of course the one last year after that promise that we went through when he led those 2 fourth-quarter comebacks against Alabama and Oklahoma. That was about as clutch as you can be.
Player down for Florida State. It's Justin Mincy at the 30-yard line.
See if we can see what happened here. I think he's right there in the middle. Gets whipped by his own guy. It must have been the leg whip that got him.
Time has been called as they take care of Mincy, and we'll return right after this. Time now for the Red Lobsters Scholar Athlete of the Game. Dorian Monroe, one of the 4 redshirt seniors on this team, studying sports management in graduate school. Red Lobster's commitment to the investment of our future is shown tonight by donating $1,000 to the University of Florida's General Scholarship Fund. A moment ago, Jerome Mincy, the player, down, and Tim Tebow comes out, wishes him the best. Here's Brantley with a handoff to Gillisley. .5:12 remaining.
Well, there's 2 legends on the field, maybe for the last time. The other one, Bobby Bowden. Now remember this, Vern, might not be a good one today, but his 2 national championships, to win the national championship, he had to win here in the swamp in '93 and '99. Both times here to get it done.
Handoff left side. Gillisley breaks loose. Looks for a block. Crosses the 40. Yeah, Bobby Bowden, 80 years of age. His career record 388, 128, and 4. At Florida State, 315. I love the fact that back in 2006, the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame waived its rules because you had to be retired to be elected to the College Football Hall
Makes
of Fame.
sense.
And they said, wait a minute, new rules. You got to be 75. And they immediately put Joe Paterno and Bobby Bowden in the Hall of Fame. Deservedly so. Gillisley again to the 34-yard line. Well, Bobby said he wants to go one more year. I think everybody remembers that a member of the Board of Regents came out and said he thought it was time that it was over. The governor of Florida, Charlie Crist, came out earlier this month and said, I think he ought to be given another chance, one more year. And TK Weatherall, who's a retiring president of Florida State, played for Bobby Bowden, played in this series, had 6 catches rather in 2 years against the Gators. And feels about Bobby as if he was a godfather. So there are a lot of complex feelings, relationships in the program.
Yeah, it's not an easy one. You know, Joe Paterno had to go through it, and you know, we got it going, turned it around. It's going to be a little different here because of having a coach in waiting. The whole taking sides things bothers me a little bit, but we'll see.
Well, yesterday we had a chance to sit down with him for 10-15 minutes, and he mentioned the cyclical nature of this game and the schools who had been down and came back.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep.
The future here is pretty bright.
Justin Williams from John Brantley.
I think Brantley's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in this conference right now, and he's the backup for Florida. He's got a gift, and he's going to have probably a 2-year opportunity to show what he can do.
Brantley played at Ocala Catholic, about 45 miles from here, and he played for Kerwin Bell, another in the long list of Florida quarterbacks. Here's Brantley. Wings it right side. Is that a catch and a fumble? It is so ruled. Catch made by Cade Holliday, a walk-on senior, and then he was popped and fumbled. Nigel Bradham, number 13.
Did he have this one all the way? Holliday comes out, catches it, 1, 2, yes. That was a good hit. That was the right call in the play.
Deontay Allen is the fellow who caused it, number 28 right there. First down, Florida State. Manuel deep in the middle, man wide open at the 34-yard line. That's the tight end, Bo Relaford, number 88. That's a gain of 22.
2 deep zone this time. The X's in, X's against O's. The O's on defense, they're not as good. Holes are a little wider out there right now.
Yes, I noticed that. I've noticed that on several plays.
Strategy isn't quite as good when you don't have as good of players out there.
Manuel, deep left side. Halstead, incomplete, number 82. Willie Halstead, and Marquis Anderson, number 14, defending. Second down with 1:38 to go.
I think, what is it, Florida's the most points they've given up all year was 20 points in the Arkansas game?
Yes. That was a 23. They're right on the average right now at 10.
Right.
Per game yield. Number 1 in the country. Number 2, defense, and the number 1 defensive team in the country is Alabama. Manuel, right side, good coverage down there, and it's tipped away. Boy, Adrian Bushell, who was beaten for the touchdown, nice replay here, number 27. Okay, next Saturday, SEC championship from Atlanta. You see the statistical rankings of the respective teams on the left, Florida.
And no surprises. Neither team, I don't think, will fool the other team. This is both sides familiar with what the other side does, and it's going to be a war.
3rd and 10. That play is allowed to stand, and it's left. Oh, there is a flag, however, at the 35.
They're still in their stance.
Yeah, look at this. Look at them.
I don't know. My first reaction to that, if I was the quarterback, I'd say, Coach, you go in and run that one. I'm not so sure I like that one.
Okay, now let's run the mired in cement play.
Right. I saw West Virginia do it the other night, too, to tell you the truth.
5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Well, that's 3 or 4 times seen it run tonight.
I don't know. I guess you move the ball the way you can move the ball, right?
Oh, goodness. 3rd and 5, 37-10, 1:20, and the clock running. Smith and Halstead. Now Halstead was on the wrong side. He comes down to the bottom of the screen. Catch made at the 27 by Rod Owens, and it'll be 4th down. Less than a minute to go. Well, Tim Tebow said he didn't know when he would be the most emotional. The entrance prior to the game or the victory lap at the end. Time call. Don't forget, later in the game, the play of the game presented by Outback Steakhouse. On your left, the quarterback, Tebow. On your right, the coach, Bowden. And in the middle of the screen, the stationary offensive line is once. Look at him. Okay, you can move now, fellas. They got another offside.
Yeah, they do that when the other team jumps. They just stay in their stance, snap the ball, and just stay there. You know, I thought Urban Meyer personally said it best about Tim. He said, you know, Tim Tebow came in being Tim Tebow. 4 years of everything that was presented and he earned, and he's leaving the same guy, Tim Tebow. Couldn't say it any better.
5-yard penalty offside against Florida with that unusual offensive set by Florida State.
That's Scott Loeffler right there, his new quarterback coach, longtime coach at Michigan. Chad Henne, and worked with Tom Brady.
And Scott Loeffler recruited Tim Tebow to Michigan, and Tebow made an unofficial visit and an official visit. Here's Manuel back on 1st down and 10. Has a little room to maneuver, and he is down at the 11-yard line. 30 seconds to go. Troy Epps, number 98, with the tackle.
Didn't get a first down, so the clock will keep running. Are they going to measure?
Let's see. Clock has been stopped with 23 seconds.
Oh, they're going to give him a first down.
They're going to move it. Yep.
It's hard to read Alabama notes and do a game at the same time. I shouldn't do it.
There's the spike. Well, the senior class for the Florida Gators are going to finish their careers here 26-2 in the swamp. The only defeats, 07 to Auburn, 08 to Ole Miss. Tim Tebow is going to wind up the regular season with a 34-5 record as a starting quarterback. Look at this, 47-6 record, twice SEC champs, 2-time BCS national champs. And most of the folks have hung around. Manuel into the end zone, intercepted, picked off by the redshirt freshman Adrian Bushell.
He got even, didn't he? Good for him. The ball was underthrown, and Bushell hung with it and made the play. Slant and go. Ball's short. Makes a nice catch.
All right. Seconds to go.
Well, you ready for next week?
I am. I have been for a while.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That will be some scene in Atlanta in the Georgia Dome. Any year the SEC championship is very special.
But then it's a rematch, and these players all know each other.
take a knee. The Florida Gators, led by Tebow, win it 37-10. Bobby Bowden. Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer told us yesterday, I love Joe Paterno and I love Bobby Bowden. I try to play golf with him at a coach's outing every year. And he said, I sit in the golf cart asking him questions, hoping someday he'll give me the key to it all. And he never will.
There's Tebow and Bowden.
And Bobby Bowden said of Tim Tebow yesterday, he's the greatest leader college football has ever seen. Let's go to Tracy, who's with Tim Tebow.
Tim, you just made a conscious effort to go talk to Bobby Bowden. What'd you say to him?
Well, I just have a lot of respect for him. I just wanted to go over there and say hey to him and tell him that God bless. And he told me that God is great, and he really is. And this is just truly a blessing, and I'm very exciting.
How about for you? 5 total touchdowns in this game, a win over your biggest rival, a performance like this. To go out like this, how much does that mean to you?
It's special. It was special running out of that tunnel and seeing all these fans, feeling the support, and then coming out here and beating FSU with guys that I love and coaches that I love and fans that I love. It's really special.
You're about to go take that final victory lap around the stadium. What will be going through your mind?
Well, it'll be very emotional, but I just want to, do whatever I can to give back, to say thank you. Thank you for what you've done for me and what you mean to me.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy it.
Thank you. God bless.
Well, let's see. Our whole group voted on the player of the game. Who do you suppose? 17 of 21 for 221. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He threw for 3 and ran for 2. And let's go back to Tracy, who's with the head coach, Urban Meyer.
Thanks a lot, Vern. Coach, a performance like this, the seniors, Tim Tebow, what they did today against this rival team, what does it mean to Florida, to you, and to this whole school?
Well, it's the first time we've been blessed as a staff to go start to finish with a group of players, and we know everything about these kids, and they're very invested guys against a very athletic team, and they played their hearts out, so I'm very proud of them.
Can you believe that this is it?
I don't want to believe. We just got to get ready next week, and I don't want to think about last time in this great stadium with these great group of seniors. But let's go. We got a big one next week.
Well, you mentioned it. What do you think about that one? What are you going in there?
Well,
what do you need to do?
It's a great team, and it's two of the top teams in America. And we just gotta, we got to work cut out for us, and it's college football at its highest level. We're proud to be part of it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Urban mentioned yesterday that every senior on this team had been a guest in his home, and he had visited the home of every senior on this team. Time now for the plays of the game, a series of Tim Tebow highlights presented by Outback Steakhouse with the call, Mick Huber of the Florida Radio Network.
Tebow on an option keeper, 20, 15, 10, 5, green grass, touchdown, Tim Tebow! Now here's Tebow on a play action, dropping back to throw, and fires the ball deep down the field for Riley Cooper. He's there, he's got it, touchdown, Gators! And there's the snap to Tebow. Option, gonna keep it, gonna run, he's gonna waltz in. Touchdown, Tim Tebow! Touchdown, Gators!
Five in all for Tim Tebow. And he's going to lead the Florida Gators into Atlanta next Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. The SEC Championship game presented by Dr. Pepper. Top-ranked Florida, second-ranked Alabama, both undefeated. That one might draw a crowd. Tebow finishes with a brilliant evening. Right back in the thick of the Heisman race. For Tracy Wolfson and Gary Danielson, Craig Silver, our producer, Steve Milton, our director, all of our crew here at CBS Sports. Tim Tebow is along. Tim Brent. Right after this. Oh, Timmy, don't you wish.